Hi stamping friends, I wanted to show you how I made this card, and then I also want to show you how to make a different version of the card using the same elements but different stamps. Let's get started. First, I stamped a lot of the Make-A-Wish on my paper, and I wanted to use the 1/2" circle punch to punch out my A because we want a little bit of a red pop. Punch that out, and I'm going to use a dimensional on the back. Pop that on there, okay, and we're just going to set that aside. To use the fringe scissors for the bottom part of the card, I wanted to give you a little trick or a little tip. When you are using these scissors, they're really fun. You might notice that if you just snip like this, you kind of get a little bit of a jagged look. If you will come back here in the V of the scissors and actually just cut a little bit, then you'll have a little bit more luck. It won't give you such a rough little snip there, if you would. Excuse me. I have already got my polka dotted base layer going through, and I used the same embossing folder that I've used on some previous videos. This is the free item that you can pick if you choose, if you spend $50 in the during celebration. Set that aside. To use I'm going to be using the scallop punch, and I cut a piece of 2" cardstock, and your banner or your tag could be just as long as you wanted. That's the beauty of this punch. It just depends on how long you want your card or you want your tag. So you line it up in there, and then you punch it, and then ta-da, it does that fun little scallop at the top. Set that aside. All right, let's put our card together. Oh, wait, I do have one other trick that I wanted to show you. When you're using the scissors, and this is the little fringe piece at the bottom, you have to attach it somehow. So let's just go ahead and use some of the sticky strip, to put that on. Sticky stuff, isn't it? So I just put a little bit of that on there. And when you use these scissors, remember how I said, if you just start back here in the V, if you have the sticky strip on there, it stops it. You don't have to worry about how far to cut. All right. So even when you have to turn it over because your piece of paper is pretty small and you do it again, it stops it on the other side. You don't even have to see where that sticky strip is. Isn't that fun? All right. So there's your tip on that. All right. Let me set this aside, and let's put our card together. So we have our, let me zoom in a little bit. We have our tag already done, and I want to use this stamp set. Whoops, sorry. I'm going to be using the Make-A-Wish, and I'm stamping it in Coastal Cabana. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that on there, and then I have my little A. I'm going to pop the dimensional off. Can you hear my dog playing with his squeak toy in the background? You know, it's just really hard to have quiet when you're doing a video. All right, so there you go on that. That way it gives it a little bit of a pop. Okay, so it's not just all plain. All right, so let's put our piece on, and I like to use my snips to go up underneath that and get that backing off. And then sticky strip is very sticky, so I like to just lay it down and then just line that up like that and make sure it's where I want it, because once I let go, that's it. All right. I'm going to talk to you about the paper. I'm using the Fresh Prints Designer Series paper, but I've actually cut 3/4 of an inch off because the paper comes in the pack and it comes this wide, but I wanted to do some paper saving tips, so I cut off just 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to use my snail, put this on the back, and line that up right there. Okay, and then put that on there. And I did notice that I didn't quite, just use your snips and trim that off just a bit if it's sticking over. All right. Okay, so now let's put our card together. I'm using the crumb cake base, and I want to use the liquid Tombow glue again. I love to use this glue on the back of any of my embossed papers, because then I know that it's going to stay stuck. Gets all down in those grooves. Lay this on here. Okay. And then because I'm sticking my designer series paper on top of those textured edges, I'm going to use the Tombow again and just put that on like that. And layer this. Okay, I have a little tip for you because I have sticky fingers from the glue. So I want to share with you that if you will use, sorry, I had to step away. If you'll use some hand sanitizer, you can get that sticky off and you can keep on working. You don't have to have sticky fingers while you're finishing up your project. And then when you're all done, then you can go and wash your hands. But for me to finish the video, I don't have sticky fingers anymore. All right, I want to use some dimensionals on the back. Pop these on. And I'm going to use 4. Okay. Going to take off the backing, digging my fingernails in, getting that off. Okay. And then lay this on here. Oops, I see a little bit peeking out. We'll trim that off. All right, there you have that. I made a bow ahead of time because I figured that you didn't want to watch me make a bow, but I'm using the taffeta ribbon and I picked the soft suede. I'm going to use glue dots, pop them out, and that's how I will stick my bow on. Go ahead and use my snip, lay this right here, pop my bow on, and ta-da, I'm done. Ah, no, guess what I forgot? However, it's easy to fix. I had a little bit of our gold baker's twine that comes in the celebration, in the Celebrate the Everyday, but because I use dimensionals, I can just slide that under. Whoops, push that under there. Maybe. Oh, there you go. It's popping off anyway. And then just tie that on. And this time I'll have a little tie for it. You get the message, okay? So sometimes when you make a mistake, it's not really a mistake. You can still fix it. I hope you enjoyed the card, and I hope you have a great day.